Hey everyone. Okay, so here we are starting 7-6. We're starting talking about exponential functions in this section. So this is going to be taking what we've learned about exponents and using them in functions. So first of all, I want to talk about the word exponential. So an exponential is anything with an exponent. So in this example here, the expression 5 to the third, the 3 is the exponent. The 3 is the exponent. The whole thing, 5 to the third, is an exponential. So then here, the expression 3 to the x is an exponential because it's an expression with an exponent in it. Okay. So, and of course, when you have an exponent, that's repeated multiplication. So something to the x power is going to be, so 3 to the x power is 3 times 3 times 3, an unknown number of times. That's why the power is x. We don't know how many times we're multiplying it by itself. All right. So continuing on, this is what a graph of an exponential function looks like. So each one of these is a separate function. The form of an exponential function looks like this. Y equals a times b to the x, where b is going to be the base. It's also called the multiplier. So b is called the multiplier. So whenever we have, say, a word problem and it says something is doubled every time, well, doubled means times 2, so that means that our base is going to be 2 because that's our multiplier. Or if it says something was multiplied by 1/2 each time, then our base is 1/2. So anything that it's being multiplied by every time, that's going to be the base. So that's an important keyword for word problems. This a here is the initial amount. So in word problems, if it says I started with $10 and then it doubled every day, right? Then A would be 10 because that's how much I started with. I started with $10 and then it doubled every day. So it got multiplied by 2 every day. So 2 would be my B. So I have 10 times 2, and then X would be the number of days. I wasn't given a number of days. I don't know what it was, but that's what X would be. The number of days would go in the exponent. So often in word problems for exponential functions, the exponent is time. It's often going to be time, not always, but it will often be time because it's the number of times something has happened. However many times this has doubled, right? Or has been multiplied by 1/2 or 5 or whatever your multiplier is. However many times that has happened, that's going to be X. So we'll see some more examples, but that's just an introduction to what this is going to look like. Some rules for this is that A is not allowed to be 0, because if A is 0, then this whole thing is going to be 0 and then it's useless. B has to be greater than 0. So B is not allowed to be negative and it's not allowed to be 0. And B is not allowed to be 1 because 1 to any power is 1. So B can be between 0 and 1, or it can be greater than 1, but it can't be 1 because if I have 1 to a power, it's just 1. And so what's the point of having a function where no matter what X is, it's just going to be the same every time? So that's not useful. So B is not ever going to be 1. Okay, this has been a quick intro to exponential functions. We'll get into more detail with some examples in the next video.